Does this cover ever say science adventure? Yeah, I didn't think so. So I just wanted to talk about like forgotten anime games that have been like forgotten about. I think it's really interesting to see like if we go back like a couple of years even like this, and we just see some of the anime games that just either never released here because they were shit or they were actual great games and they've just been forgotten by time. I think the first one that comes to mind when I think of forgotten anime games is Naruto Storm Generations. This game is kind of infamous for being like kind of shit, but also kind of great because it actually revamped the battle system in the Naruto Storm games. I've always thought the Naruto Storm games were alright. I've only played Storm 1. I haven't actually played this one, so I don't know how the battle system really compares, but I played a little bit of Storm 3, and apparently Storm 3's battle system is taken straight from this, and I preferred it over Storm 1's more clunky battle system. There's like some more mechanics like the substitution bars in there, which I vastly prefer over just using chakra. Yeah, it's just a better version. So you're wondering, why has this been forgotten about? Well, it's mainly a few reasons. Mainly because it's not that sequential to the Naruto storyline. Like Naruto Storm 1, 2, and 3, and 4. They've all followed like the Naruto story from beginning to end. And this one only followed like sides. I don't know what we call it, like side stories. Like one of them is like the Zabuza arc, and like that wasn't shown in Storm 1. So it's kind of weird. They brought like stuff that wasn't in the Storm games and just brought it into this. I don't know. It was kind of odd, but yeah, it's kind of a interesting game. I would give it a shot if you haven't played it. I've played like the demo, but I haven't actually gone through like the full game. Next, we're gonna talk about Project Diva, and I freaking love Project Diva. Just getting out of the way, I was addicted to like Project Diva Future Tone in high school, and it is such a great game. I probably get addicted to it all over again if I really had the time, but that's besides the point. Project Diva, I recently replayed all of the PSP games, and you're wondering, where is he going with this? Well, Project Diva Dreamy Theater, of course. I don't think anybody has really talked about the Dreamy Theater games in like a full video. Probably because they're like the most useless games nowadays. Because like, and they're the most hard to get into. Because first, you need a copy of the PSP game, which was already, let's see, I think this was copies. Yeah, right here. 330 yen for this like cheapo copy, which was like the new price variant of the game, like the cheaper variant of the game. And you need the game AIM, and then you needed a PS3, and then you need to buy Dreamy Theater on top of that, which is like insane. It was like $40 or 4,000 yen. And then you need to connect your PSP through a USB cable, and then you gotta download the software for Dreamy Theater on your PSP, the transfer tool, and it's pretty much just a whole mess that you just don't really want to experience nowadays, especially in 2025. And the problem is that it's probably the best version of Project Diva. Yeah, it's like probably the best version. It has like the best frame rate out of all the games. I think it runs at like 60 FPS, which was unheard of for like the PS3 games of the era. And the weirdest part, it even had a controller release for it. Yeah, Hori decided to make controllers for Dreamy Theater 2nd, which is like for Dreamy Theater for Project Diva 2nd. And then they made 3 of these. They made Dreamy Theater, which is probably the worst one because you have to stay tethered to a PS3 to actually play it. And it plays this god-awful music. So you have to turn the volume down on your PSP to even play the game. And then we got Dreamy Theater 2nd, which you can copy your save files, which is a godsend. Thank you. And then we got Project Diva Extend, which is probably like the best version because it's probably my favorite out of the PSP games. I think like it goes in like a circle where it just keeps getting better. Like Product Diva 1 is rough. Product Diva 2 is pretty good, but they're still getting their foots in the water. And Product Diva Extend is like actually a Project Diva game. Next we got Blackrock Shooter the game. I've pretty much experienced everything except for this game. I've watched the anime, I've watched the pilot, I've watched like the song by Supercell, and this game is the only one that I haven't played. So yeah, I think there's like a manga out there as well, which is like I'm probably never gonna read that. I mean, I have too much manga already, so yeah. Okay, so why was this forgotten? Because Blackrock Shooter was forgotten. I don't even think anybody remembers Blackrock Shooter. It was probably like a weirdly like infested part of the anime community back in the day. Okay. I've seen the anime and it's a good like high school drama mixed with action, but it's like it's probably like the middest of shows. Like it's fine, but it's not something that I would go out and actually buy Blu-rays for or something like that. It is just a fine TV show. Now the game, take all of that and just strip out the high school drama and you just got the action scenes. That is pretty much it. It is pretty much just the action scenes of Blackrock Shooter, the anime, with like brand new characters. And I think these two right here are like brand new characters. Of course, we got Blackrock Shooter. I don't even remember her name. That's how freaking... I think her name is Blackrock Shooter. I don't know. I don't care about this anime enough to actually give a shit. What's weird is that this got like a digital release on PSP in English. So if you have like a US account on the PSP, you can still buy this game on like Vita or PS3 and download it on your PSP. Which is weird that it came out. It also came out in like, I think 2011, which is when the Vita released. So that's probably why it was digital only. Weird game. They also made a limited edition of this, which comes with a figure for, I think it was this character, which was only exclusive to the game, and nobody gives a shit about this Blackrock Shooter anymore. Why did they make a limited edition? I think the most interesting part out of this game is that the opening is actually by Ufotable, and it's actually a banger freaking opening. Like, I actually like this. This was actually before Ufotable did, like, Fate, I'm pretty sure. And they killed it. They were still killing it back then before Fate. So, yeah. Probably pick it up for the Ufotable stuff. But nothing else, really. This isn't really a good game from what I've seen. It's sort of like an on-rail shooter. I think this is probably the worst cover ever I have in my collection. So yes, this is, as I said in the beginning, this is a Cultic 9, a science adventure game. Now, what is a science adventure game? So basically, Science Adventure is a series. I think it's the most notable game in it is Steins Gate, but there's like a bunch of other games like Chaos Head and Robotics Notes and Chaos Child and all of those. But the most notable one is Steins Gate. Now you're saying, where does a Cultic 9 fit in this? It actually doesn't. It was based on like a light novel. I think it was like a light novel series that was written, and it wasn't officially canon from what I remember. And then they made it canon, and then, yeah. So why do people forget about this one? Well, because it's actually garbage from what I've heard. It is probably the weakest of the science adventure games. From what I've heard, it's very unfinished. And they were gonna actually finish it with like an update, but that update was ended up canceled. And then the director of the game said, "Oh yeah, if we're gonna do this, if we're gonna like do a Cultic 9 again, we're probably gonna do it like Steins Gate Elite, where it's like animated and stuff." Nobody actually likes Steins Gate Elite. By the way, I think Steins Gate Elite is pretty alright, but most of the science adventure fandom hates Steins Gate Elite. So, yeah, I don't think we're ever going to see this. And the last one, Disgaea D2, which is like a fine game, but it's very I think the only reason why this has been forgotten is because it hasn't been ported to any other console, really. This is actually a fine game. It just didn't sell well. It's actually pretty good, but it just didn't sell well, and it's the only one that hasn't been ported to another console. The only Disgaea game that hasn't been ported to another console. Hopefully, since NIS is making more ports to PC and consoles and stuff, hopefully we get this at some point along with Disgaea 3, because I really want Disgaea 3. Please port Disgaea 3 to PC. That is like the one wish I want out of all of those PC ports. That's like the one I want. Port that to modern consoles, including PC, and I think I would be a happy camper. So where do we stand on these forgotten anime games? Well, some of them are like needlessly complicated. Some of them are like great games, but they kind of faltered in some ways, and they haven't been ported to PC. So yeah, it's probably not worth buying the games over again. Then we got this, like, it just never comes out on our platforms. And then we got like shit. It never got translated, and it's shit. And then we got stuff that was from a time capsule of anime. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. If you guys liked the video, like and subscribe. I don't know if I'm gonna get footage for Black Rock Shooter. I'll try, but like getting PSP footage is kind of hard. So yeah, see you later.